it's me and him, and tonight we watched Starve Acre. I will say this movie did not go where I thought it was going. Like pretty early on, once the kid died, which I did not expect, and then like you saw the thing about the ritual or whatever, I thought they were going Pet Cemetery with this.
Yeah,
I thought for sure that's what was going to happen, and it is not what happened at all. The kid was the first in the ritual to summon the demon rabbit fairy portal tree thing.
Jack.
Yeah. Also, did not expect to see a woman breastfeed a demon rabbit. So that was not on my bingo card. Overall, it was very slow.
Super slow.
That was, I think my biggest complaint with the movie would be it took forever, right? Like, I know they were world building and trying to set up different things, and like they tried to throw you off at first by making it seem like the doctor was the one that was, not actually the doctor, just Matt Smith, but it tried to make it seem like he was the crazy one. Because like at first, the wife seemed like she was trying to move on. He was like, staying in his office, and like, no, I'm not going to talk to you, and just being kind of dickish. So like at first you feel like
I thought it was the other way around. I thought it was because he told his son that they were going to dig and find the old oak. And like it was going to be a parent project. I thought he was using his grief to like just keep doing that. Like, hey, I didn't get to do it with my son, so I'm going to do this to move on and just do something. Whereas she was always in bed and doing nothing until her sister came.
See, I thought it was the opposite. I thought she was like, she was going through the grief process. Like she was depressed for a minute, stayed in bed and all that. But then her and her sister started like painting the room and doing all of that. It felt like she was getting better. Meanwhile, he like. He wouldn't let her in the room. He was refusing to talk. Like, he was just, keeping himself away from everyone else. So I thought he was the one, like, grieving hard, and she was the one moving on.
Yeah, I guess. Depends on how you look at it.
But either way, it was neither of those things.
Right.
She was summoning the devil, and he resigned himself to go along with it.
But he started the whole thing. Do you think it was her?
I don't think he started it. I think he just discovered it.
He discovered it. It was his family's farm, and they did it back then.
Yeah, well, like, he hated his dad for doing it, and, like...
But she didn't know until they had that bed scene moment where he told her, I think. I couldn't understand half of what anyone was saying in this movie.
But, like, at the end, he was trying to warn the sister away and everything. Like, it felt like she was more on board, and he was just resigned to do it.
I think he was doing it at first, and then he realized... And then he's like, oh, no. But I love my wife, and I don't want to disappoint her, maybe?
Yeah, that's what I mean. Like, it definitely felt like at the end there, he was just going along. Because, like, he didn't want to kill his coworker. Like, he even, tried to put his hand on it to like, stop the bleeding and all that, and then it just went off the rails. But
that hammer blows were good.
It was. That was great.
Watching her
There was some scenes in here that worked. It was just...
No, that was pretty much it.
There was a lot in between that just really didn't need to be there. Again, like, I know they were setting up the world and setting up the lore and doing all that, but it took forever to get there. Like, it really... Oh, it could have been shorter. Like, as the rabbit was starting to regrow, that was really cool. There's some really good animatronics there with, like, the stuff moving and everything. Yeah. I liked that. Yeah. And then he had, like, the Michigan J. Frog moment where he showed it to the coworker and it was just skeleton. There was no muscle. That was cool. I mean, not, like, visually it wasn't cool, but, like, it was just, then you start to wonder, is it in its head? Did it really happen? Whatever. Like, there were some good moments, but overall there was so much, not even filler, it was paced so slow. Yeah, it took forever for things to happen, and then when they did, it didn't feel like it paid off. Like, we never
ended.
Yeah, we didn't get to see the tree come back to life. We didn't get to see the fairy portal in action. We didn't get to see any of that. We know they killed the final person, and then the movie ends. We don't know what happens after that. So...
But don't make a second one, because I don't want to find out.
Yeah, no, I don't need to know. It was a lot of build-up. And then when we got there, the movie was done. You know what it was? It's exactly like, and I think you watched it too, Earwig and the Witch. When Goro Miyazaki was gonna like prove himself to take over Ghibli and did the opposite. because that whole movie is building toward, you know, this girl and like her mother was some special witch thing, whatever. And, like this whole time they're building toward it, and then right at the end, the lady knocks on the door, gets the reveal, and the movie ends. This was the same thing. It's building the whole time, and it's kind of raising the stakes slowly over time. And then when it finally gets there, and it's finally going to get interesting, movie's over, and you never get the interesting bit. So, if you liked Earwig and the Witch, if you're one of those 3 people, you'll like this movie. But if you're anyone else at all and you have taste, nothing really happens. It takes forever to get to the part where it would be interesting, and then it stops immediately. So yeah, I definitely would not recommend this one. It was just a slog. Like, the actors were great, you know, everyone did a good job in their role, but they just had nothing to do the whole time, and I just wasn't entertained. I was bored. So yeah, don't watch this one. You're not missing anything by skipping it. Even with a big name in it, it doesn't matter. Just go ahead and skip this one. And that's it. We'll see you tomorrow.